What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Let's Play Hearts of Iron 4 with our Italian campaign. We, of course, have just taken over the British Raj. I'm very happy at such a phenomenal job that the Japanese have done. Unfortunately, though, when it comes to the United States, we are in a stalemate inside Mexico. We're doing everything in our power to gear up 60 divisions that we're going to change color to red. And basically, they're all inside the Yucatan, or at least making their way over. And the idea is we are going to build a lot more infantry equipment. We're going to build a lot more mechanized. We're going to get a lot more modern tanks as well. And we're going to try to plow through everything they have. It's going to be a little bit of a problem. But I think if we, handle our assets and handle our cards correctly, we should be good to go. Taking a quick glance, the Axis have lost 21 million men. And the Allies have lost 21.6 million men. You would think we would lose a lot more. But we have almost 5 times the fielded manpower. So all that really needs to happen is if we just wait, all of our allies will basically destroy the US. Germany is pushing from the north. Japan was pushing from Florida and obviously Baja California. Italy has obviously, which is us, taken over most of Mexico, but it is becoming a bit of an issue trying to continue the push. I kind of want to go ahead and delete these units, because I don't plan on using them, and build a few more military police again. We're going to lack a lot of support equipment. We now have 7.5 thousand. We didn't have that much before. Perhaps we don't need all of this infantry equipment then. I think we're going to keep it just in case. Or excuse me, perhaps we don't need this much support equipment. I'll probably keep it, though I said just in case. We're working on the mechanized. We're now finally out of oil. I could probably trade somebody for it. Yeah, I don't really need anything else here. I could unlock better Marines. I don't need anything at all. Still waiting on our 465 Army experience, and then we could definitely improve our modern tanks. I guess our question is now, where do I get those resources that I require? I need more oil, and I could get some from Venezuela, which I guess I'm going to have to do. And I'm going to get some from Legionary Romania. So now I have 10 oil. I get that we're overpaying for it right now, but that's fine. What we're going to do is start producing more mechanized. We're running out of oil. I don't think that's a great idea either. Let's get 10 modern tanks, and because they don't require that much oil. And I could go ahead and start building up another synthetic refinery. Is that what I want to do, though? Not really. Let's build one. One, 2, and 3. These are all core Italian provinces, so that means whatever we produce here will stay there. And I'm going to produce the one in Ethiopia. I'm going to push that all the way to the north. All the way to the top. I keep saying north. Yeah, still got our stalemate. Part of me wants to do the push now, but our best option would be to wait 187 days. Our mechanized, we are now down to 232 days, up from like 500 before. As it gains more and more efficiency, these mechanized units might even beat out our modern tanks. Infantry equipment still gaining efficiency. It says 151 days. So one thing that I can guarantee, in about 4 months, I'm definitely going to go ahead and try to do an invasion. Still building up these modern tanks. I just wish we had more production. And one thing that we could do is, instead of building these very expensive modern tanks, we probably could have kept these medium tanks. I mean, dang, you could have 2 medium tanks for the price of 1 modern tank. Though the modern tank is absolutely better in almost every way. I guess what we're looking at, though, is, is it really worth it? Oh, that's neat. I didn't know we could go from heavy tanks to modern tanks. Or medium tanks. So I guess what I'm saying is, would I rather have 2 medium tanks that are weaker or 1 modern tank? I think one of our biggest issues was our lack of tungsten, which now we have a lot of. We didn't before. I wonder why we have so much. Are we trading for it? I think so. Yes. I don't need any of this. Awkward. Alright, well now I have a few extra factories that definitely would have put us a few factories ahead. I feel kind of silly. We're not trading for anything else except for oil, and we're working on building some better refineries, so let's push another one to the top. Obviously, we're building the one inside Ethiopia and then Somalia. And it's the 21st of January. I don't think we're going to really look again until about 4 months from now. So roughly June. June 1st is probably when we're going to go ahead and at least try to maneuver ourselves a naval invasion. These 13 units could continue to push against Africa, or at least try to. Let's do something like this. Activate. And it looks like we are a Desert Fox. Better destroyer organization. We absolutely don't need that, but we're gonna do it anyway because we have nothing else to unlock. And one thing that we could do, at least while we're waiting, is take these 24 units and send them on over to this area. Let's send them to Morocco, and we'll push down if we even can. I don't know if we can. I'm going to send them on over. Hopefully they survive. Do I actually have a navy? I should. 28 ships. Unfortunately, no carriers. So what we're going to do is put you inside Casablanca. There it is, level 8. And what we're going to do is basically protect these 2 areas and try to ensure that no one gets destroyed. I wish I could put on another carrier. And we've got a few, don't get me wrong. Some of these battleships are weak. Let's go with repair priority of high. So what I was trying to say is maybe if I send over these 24 modern tanks, maybe we could start pushing into a variety of areas. We could try. Don't know if it's going to work. Let's also give you Guillermo Sana. And maybe we could... you know what? Let's start working on this Field Marshal. Level 6 Field Marshal versus the... That's our best one. The level 6 Field Marshal. Giovanni Messi. And we have better entrenchment, less supply consumption, and own combat width. Yeah, still waiting on mechanized, infantry equipment, and modern tanks. But one thing I'm hoping is while we're waiting this long, maybe we could go ahead and take some territories. I guess my question now is all of these units are finally making their way through. I hope we don't lose any. 36 and 24 is obviously the correct number. Let's change this to the color green, just because I like the color green. A lot of lost convoys from the enemy. The UK is beating Venezuela, which is actually kind of surprising as well. I have a research slot. We are going to unlock the final version of Marines. And slowly but surely, we are making our way through and over. I guess another thing I could do is, while I'm waiting, all of these guys could exercise. Not only are they going to eventually gain more and more supplies, but they're going to gain some experience. And while I'm waiting, let's put a Field Marshal on you. Everybody's garbage. I get that you are not a Field Marshal. We have a 50% penalty. That makes me nervous. I think we're going to keep him, though.
Comandi.
Alright, our modern tanks still haven't arrived. Still going through the Atlantic.
Attento.
But at least all of these units are gaining some experience. If anything, they're roughly gaining 0.82% every single day. So that's going to take roughly about 100 days just to almost get out of green. And then hopefully to, I think it goes green and then trained and then veteran. Or seasoned or something like that. Alright, our light tanks still haven't really been destroyed. And it looks like the German Reich is still doing some pushing, so that is phenomenal. I wish I could speed this up, but there's really nothing I can do. We are seeing some naval battles. If I could somehow take this port, imagine having a level 6 radar station protecting the Atlantic. That would be pretty nice. In fact, just outright phenomenal.
Pronto all'azione.
Alright, our very first 10 units are about to arrive, which is good news. I think I might even go ahead and exercise these 24. Or at least while we wait. Alright, we've made it. Do I need to build up any type of infrastructure? I probably do. And do I need to have... let's look at our supply. So it is making its way through Somalia, and it's being pushed over. I don't know if we're going to have the necessary infrastructure soon, though. Did we push both of those at the top? Yes, we did.
Attento.
And we're now down to 4.6 thousand modern tanks. Another thing that we could do is we obviously could put on more and more modern tanks. We finally have a surplus of motorized, and we're only really even building one unit of motorized. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to push this down to 5. And now we're building more and more... Well, no, we're not. We're not building anything. We now need oil. So really what I was going to do... Where's our mechanized? 2.9 thousand. Oh, my goodness. One thing I'll probably do is try to get another unit of mechanized. We lack the oil. We lack the rubber. We're building some, though. And the idea is eventually, looking at the U.S. defense, I'm going to switch over one of the, or two of these to mechanized. And now that we're not producing nearly as many, I'm hoping that this massive 8.4 thousand surplus isn't really going to be a big deal.
Attento.
But everybody's gaining experience, everybody is getting stronger and stronger. I think all 24 have finally arrived. If not, they're still making their way through.
Si, signore.
Let's go ahead and start making our way down. I don't see any other units inside this area, so all we're going to do is march away and do an offensive line all the way through. We'll see if this is even a viable plan. Let's stop exercising so then we can gain our organization. I don't think Free France and the UK are really going to put up much of a fight. But who knows? It looks... I see a bunch of naval battles that have gone on. I would really like to do a naval invasion of this area and basically control a very powerful radar station. Don't know how viable of a plan that is, though. Military police have been unlocked. And I do want to glance at the German Reich. They're not really making that much progress. So while we're waiting, who knows? Okay, estimated plan, negative 22.4%. Obviously, people aren't even inside where they need to be. And it went from just outright disadvantageous all the way to, I guess, regular. Usually you would see a green check mark if we believe it is obviously a good plan. Research slots available. Who dares win? Let's get that. Let's start working on better submarine operations, even though I don't really plan on using those. Okay, are all of our units in their proper place? I think they finally are. So let's go ahead and activate this plan. Is it a good idea? I have no idea. We're also going to aggressively execute these battle plans. And I think we're gonna win, but I don't know. Let's also go ahead and activate this man, and then put you on execute, or aggressively execute. I think we should win. I don't know, though. Our infrastructure is improving, which is nice. And that's our goal. We are pushing in a variety of areas, even though this is woods. All of these units are gaining experience, which is cool as well. This man should eventually push on over to 100% and lose that minus 25% modifier. Okay, now we are going for the backhand blow, which is a defensive tactic. And ultimately, my #1 goal is to get the modern Blitzkrieg, so +3 organization, a very nice recovery rate, and a lot more breakthrough. I see that we're having a little bit of trouble. This does make me somewhat nervous. But then again, we're also pushing to the coastline. So imagine if we took Gambia and built up a pretty powerful radar station. I mean, it would be pretty nice. Are we still lacking oil? Not really. We're lacking a lot of modern tanks. And I don't know if we're really going to build any more other than mechanized. Because we need some sort of hit points, and we need some additional organization. And modern tanks don't offer that, unlike mechanized. Alright, everybody is still pushing. And doing a phenomenal job, I might add. All of these units are finally going from green all the way up to trained. And then eventually they're going to go to, like, seasoned or veteran. How long until we can take Gambia? Are we actually changing Portugal over to fascist? Kind of. They're now at 30% popularity. Any moment now. We're still working on Senegal. And almost there. Okay, one more. How long is this going to take? Finally, and it looks like they have a level 1 radar station, so let's go ahead and push that all the way to level 6. Is it really that necessary? I don't know, but the idea is we won't lose as many naval vessels. You know what, I'm starting to even wonder if I really need this many. Let's go down to, I guess, level 3. Or excuse me, I guess this will technically be level 4. Because we already have one there. Senegal is being sieged down. We are pushing in almost every single direction. We lost 2 units. Not bad, though. And I see that we're 94 days behind schedule with our modern tanks. We probably don't need as many support equipment. But unfortunately with this mechanized, we're 303 days away. Let's go ahead. Destroy 1 unit of support equipment. I guess we've already done that. And see if we can make any progress. We are going to need a lot more units to obviously be successful. Are there any actual factories here? Surprisingly enough, there are. So maybe I'll put those to good use. Everybody else is making some significant strides. And we did lose 1 unit of modern tanks. That actually makes me incredibly nervous, but luckily we have an extra. Put you on through. I wonder how we lost it. Obviously it was like the lack of organization. Or probably let's have a balanced manner rather than aggressive. And then we won't lose units. But at least the enemy is being dealt with. This is a level 1 base. That's level 2. We're going to try to get it up to like level 4. So I'm guessing it's going to go out to here. I would like one here inside these islands. And it looks like Japan has taken the islands for us. Though I wish the actual siege of the U.S. would go a lot better. We're in the year 1949, so 4 years longer than the actual war in World War II. Alright, you're pushing in, you are pushing down, you guys need to push down, you guys need to push down. And I'm guessing one of these units could go here. You could go there, and you could go there. Alright, we still have 36 and 24. Everybody's doing a good job. Ah, finally, we can now improve all of our modern tanks. Okay, so our number 1 goal is to build up the speed, and I guess we could put one into the main gun. It'll give us more piercing, better heart attack. Do we need it? No, but I think it's what we're gonna do. Okay, so the P45-2 series, let's actually dismantle everything else. Heavy tank we don't really need. Light tank L1 and L8 can be thrown away. P45-2, P45-2. Taking a little bit of time, but I'm hoping this additional speed will definitely outweigh the, costly reduction. P45-2 all the way down. And now we are good to go again. We have some extra naval dockyards. We're not really doing anything with those. And part of me wants to do another naval invasion of Florida, but I think we should probably just push through Mexico. Do we need any better infrastructure? I mean, while we're here, we could build it up. Not really. Everything's where it needs to be. At least I hope so. Let's look at supply. I guess some of our biggest issue are some of our biggest issues. Looks like the naval dockyards. Can I do anything about that? Probably. Let's build up a level 2 naval base. Push it on up to level 8. I get that by the time we get there, it won't be level 10. We're going to have it to level 8. I am now lacking oil. So, could I throw down another synthetic refinery? I suppose I will put you here. Push you to the top. Same thing with here. Push you to the top. A lot of construction and repairs that need to be undergone, which is fine. I wish this war was over, but it's just taking so long. How is our invasion of Africa coming along? Very nicely. But it looks like we have stopped pushing, which makes me a little nervous. We should be able to defeat these Mexican troops and Irish troops. But it looks like we have some negative modifiers. And we're fighting through the jungle. Liberia has capitulated. That is great news. I wish I could activate this guy, but they're already activated. They're just going so god-awful slow. Let's push on in. You're taking way too long. Okay, you have been successful. So you're gonna go through, and then you're gonna go down. You go here, you go there. When are you going to arrive? Alright, you've already arrived. And it looks like we now have a level 2 radar station working on level 3 inside Gambia. It's not as nice, but it's a little bit better. Okay, we are slowly making progress and eventually moving on into the capital. We made some experience, though not necessarily what we needed. Are we anywhere near level 7? Surprisingly enough, we actually are. And we're not really anywhere close to getting any new traits, which is kind of sad.
Avanzate!
All of our tanks are making their way through. They just don't really have the speed that we require. 7.3 thousand mechanized, still what we're missing. 228 days. But maybe by the time that those 228 days finally pass, we'll probably... It's already the 1st of June. You would think we would have enough mechanized, but we don't. We have a surplus of infantry equipment. We have a surplus of... No, we don't even have a surplus of modern tanks. It's probably because we obviously were fighting, and we are doing a lot of exercising. Okay, you guys are good to go. You are going to move here. And all 60 of you, once again, should make your way through. Let's switch leaders. Back to Giovanni. And then everybody from Africa should make their way through and over. And now these 11 troops that don't have anything to do are going to garrison on up all of these areas. Try to do a little bit of suppression. If we make results, that's great. We probably won't. One thing I could do, how much do I want to add military police regiments to our colonial divisions? Probably not, but what would that look like? Where's support equipment? We'll change by 710 in total. I definitely don't mind doing that then, seeing as they now do a very small amount of resistance reduction. Well, I guess once all 60 of these units finally make their way back, we're probably going to begin our invasion. And obviously, while we're waiting, we're gaining more and more resources. We are obviously gaining more experience. Our fighters are down to 1.5 thousand, down from 2.6 thousand. Close air support still being worked on. We have a lot of support equipment, a lot of motorized now. I don't think we really need this much. But what else are we doing? We're building up some radar stations, which we don't need. Building up some synthetic refineries, which we do need. Another ace pilot has been promoted. And hopefully that this will finally be the war that we win. I wish I could also get rid of all of these naval battles. I used to be able to right-click on the top of the screen, but I guess when you do that over and over again, I've noticed before in other campaigns that that's happened. Okay, military factories are being constructed. The Yucatan naval bases are being improved, which is good news. And eventually, it's going to be improved even more. But now we're lacking infrastructure. Should I build more? I don't want to, but I probably should. Okay, anything else? Not really. Still working on our land doctrines. You're going to be done in 132 days. Still working on those. I suppose we could unlock our 4th version of the carrier. I don't really plan on using any, because this war is pretty much over. All we got to do is just outweight the enemy. We have almost 5 times as many troops. Let's look at the US real quick. They have roughly 15 million manpower, but that's because they've changed it to all adults serve. So they have a 20% recruitable population. Yeah, but unfortunately their factory output's gone down, their dockyard output, and their construction speed has all gone down. Okay, it looks like the German Reich is pushing through Canada with only about 1 or 2 units. Are all 60 of my units over? Not really. Some are still leaving Africa. Some are yet to even leave Africa. What are you doing? Why is this tank all the way up here? I'm guessing what it did is instead of running through... I don't even like this. Let's get you to go from here and then shift-click across the Atlantic. There we go. That'll be ridiculously faster than driving through Africa and then taking a boat. Alright, well, our synthetic refineries are coming along nicely. Our military factories, we probably need to start building up again inside Mexico or something. I have a few other islands that I could build up. But, much like before, I do want these synthetic refineries and this naval base.
Si, signore.
Alright, well, I guess we're gonna have to go ahead and put an end to this episode, so thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you all have an awesome day, and I will see you in our next adventure.